I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
Okay. But I mean, when you link to somebody who's talking about the guy who killed children in a mall in Allen, Texas, and you say something like it might be a bad psyop. I'm not quite sure what you meant, but.
Oh, in that particular case, there was somehow that's not that obviously people were killed, but it was, I think, incorrectly ascribed to be a white supremacist action, and the evidence for that was some obscure Russian website that no one's ever heard of, that had no followers, and the company that found this is Bellingcat.
Right.
And do you know what Bellingcat does? PsyOps.
Right.
Elon Musk, the enigmatic and polarizing billionaire behind Tesla, SpaceX, and X, formerly Twitter, has become as famous for his controversial statements as for his groundbreaking technological innovations. His unfiltered communication style and provocative opinions have often landed him in hot water, both with the public and regulatory bodies. Musk's interviews are a roller coaster ride of bold claims, unexpected tangents, and unapologetic defiance. Let's dive into some of Musk's most unhinged interview moments, showcasing his combative nature and the complex, often contradictory persona he presents to the world. Musk's interactions with the media have often been contentious, but his interview with Don Lemon took things to a new level. As the interview neared its end, the tension between Musk and Lemon became palpable, culminating in an exchange that would ultimately lead to severe consequences for Lemon's relationship with X.
I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so
Is this the question you want to ask?
Same question as you said that they are killing the company, but you're the head of the company. The buck doesn't stop with you?
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment. And I'm going to stick to that. And if that means making less money, so be it.
Why would that question upset you? You seem upset by it, are you?
I think you...
And I'm not trying to upset you.
Well, you are upsetting me because the way you're phrasing the questions, I think, is not cogent.
This exchange reveals Musk's approach to media scrutiny. When pressed on X's challenges, he becomes defensive, attempting to control the interview and deflecting with free speech rhetoric. Instead of addressing corporate responsibility, Musk attacks the interviewer's approach, positioning himself as the victim. The aftermath was dramatic. Musk canceled Lemon's deal with X, highlighting the fragile nature of media relationships in his sphere and his readiness to wield power to control his narrative. This raises concerns about independent journalism on platforms owned by influential figures who can unilaterally silence voices. Musk's disregard for potential consequences of his words is another striking aspect of his persona, particularly evident in his social media approach and interactions with ex-advertisers. When confronted about his controversial tweets' impact on business relationships, Musk's response was explosive.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
But
go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
F-Y.
This outburst exemplifies Musk's combative approach to business and his willingness to prioritize his principles, or at least his perception of them, over financial gain. It's a stance that has both won him ardent supporters and fierce critics. Musk's defiance in the face of advertiser pressure raises questions about the sustainability of his business model and his long-term strategy for X. Is this the bold stance of a visionary willing to risk it all for his beliefs, or the reckless behavior of a billionaire detached from the realities of running a public company? Musk's unconventional approach extends beyond his business practices to his personal life and habits. In a particularly candid moment, he openly discussed his use of ketamine, framing it within the context of his intense work ethic.
Well, I mean, it's pretty private to ask somebody about a medical prescription, you know. I think it's something I'd say, like, there are times when I have sort of I don't know, like a negative chemical state in my brain, like depression, I guess, you know, is or like depression that's not linked to any negative views, and then ketamine is helpful for getting one out of a negative frame of mind.
Do you feel like you ever abuse it?
I don't think so. If you use too much ketamine, you can't really get work done. You know? So I have a lot of work. So I'm typically putting in, like, you know, 16-hour days. That's normal for me, and it's rare for me to even take off a weekend day. So I don't really have, like, you know, a situation where I can be not mentally acute for an extended period of time. Like, I can't really get wasted because I can't get my work done.
This revelation offers a glimpse into the complex interplay between Musk's mental health, his drug use, and his famously intense work schedule. It's a startling moment of vulnerability from a man often perceived as invincible, highlighting the personal toll of his relentless drive for innovation and success. However, it also raises concerns about the potential impact of drug use on his decision-making and the example it sets for others in high-pressure industries. Musk's controversial nature isn't limited to his personal habits or business decisions. His activity on social media platforms, particularly X, has been a constant source of debate and criticism. When questioned about the impact of his tweets on Tesla and its shareholders, Musk's response was characteristically dismissive.
You know, I'm reminded of the scene in The Princess Bride. Great movie.
Great movie.
Where he confronts the person who killed his father. And he says, offer me money, offer me power, I don't care.
So you just don't care. You want to share what you have to say.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
This peculiar reference to a movie scene, followed by a long, awkward pause, illustrates Musk's dismissive attitude towards potential consequences of his controversial statements on social media. It's a moment that showcases his unique communication style, a blend of pop culture references, defiance, and a seeming lack of concern for how his words might be perceived or impact others. Despite his often brash public persona, Musk has moments where he reveals a more vulnerable side. When discussing the personal cost of his immense fame and success, he offered a surprisingly relatable perspective.
If you Google Elon Musk, I think you have 156 million search results.
Really?
76 million Twitter followers. You're definitely one of the most popular people on earth. Is popularity a pleasure or a liability for you?
Well, it makes it difficult to go buy a coffee at the corner store, that's for sure. So it's hard to go around places. I used to be able to just, you know, go to the store, walk down the street, and now it's quite difficult to do that. It's hard for me to go to a restaurant, and if I do, I just try to find a corner table, and that's kind of dimly lit or something, where I can sort of stay out of the way.
This quote reveals a more human side of Musk, highlighting the personal sacrifices that come with his level of fame and success. It's a reminder that even those who seem to have it all often grapple with the basic human need for normalcy and connection. Musk's contentious relationship with regulatory bodies, particularly the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has been a recurring theme throughout his career. His blunt criticism of the SEC during an interview exemplifies his willingness to challenge authority.
Have you had any of your tweets censored?
Expect them.
This exchange showcases Musk's ongoing battle with regulatory oversight and his belief in unfettered free speech, even when it potentially conflicts with his responsibilities as the CEO of a public company. It's a stance that has endeared him to free speech absolutists while alarming those concerned with market stability and investor protection. Throughout these interviews, we see a pattern emerge. Elon Musk is a man who seems to relish in challenging norms, pushing boundaries, and provoking reactions. His unhinged moments in interviews paint a picture of a complex, often contradictory figure whose influence extends far beyond the realm of technology and business. Elon Musk's unhinged interview moments offer a window into the mind of one of the most influential and controversial figures of our time. His unapologetic attitude, coupled with his immense wealth and power, continues to spark debate and divide opinion. As we've seen, Musk's candid responses and provocative statements keep the public, the media, and even regulatory bodies on their toes. Whether you view him as a visionary pushing humanity forward or a loose cannon endangering market stability, one thing is clear: Elon Musk is not afraid to speak his mind, regardless of the consequences. As he continues to shape the future of technology and space exploration, we're left to wonder, what controversial statement or groundbreaking innovation will come next from this enigmatic billionaire?